Hey there, friends. Let's jump into a super fun story that's going to grab your attention and not let go. Imagine this, it's a cold afternoon in December. The air is chilly, and you can see your breath puff out like little clouds. I'm just a regular kid, well, okay, maybe not a kid, but a regular guy named Jake. I live in a quiet little neighborhood where houses sit close together, and everyone knows everyone. Today, I'm super excited because I'm carrying a big, bushy Christmas tree into my front yard. It's tall and green and smells like pine needles, like the best kind of winter smell ever. I'm humming jingle bells in my head, jingle bells, jingle all the way, and dreaming about sipping hot cocoa later with marshmallows floating on top. Everything feels peaceful, happy, and just right. Or at least, that's what I thought. See, I'm standing there in my yard, my hands full of tree branches, thinking about how pretty this tree is going to look with lights and ornaments. The sun is starting to dip low, painting the sky with soft oranges and pinks. My boots crunch on the frosty grass, and I'm smiling because Christmas is my favorite time of year. I love the twinkly lights, the cookies, and the way everyone seems a little nicer, at least, most people. I'm just a guy who wants to put up his tree and enjoy the holidays, you know? Nothing fancy, nothing wild. Just me, my tree, and some holiday cheer. But oh boy, was I wrong about how this day was going to go. Something big was about to happen, and I didn't even see it coming. Here's the thing, while I'm busy dragging this tree across my yard, someone is watching me. Not in a nice way, like a friend waving hi. No, this is more like a hawk staring down a tiny mouse, ready to swoop in and cause trouble. I don't notice it at first because I'm too busy thinking about where I'll put the star on top of the tree. My yard is small, with a little fence around it and a mailbox shaped like a snowman. Cute, right? The street is quiet, just a few cars parked here and there, and some houses already have their Christmas lights up. It's the kind of place where you'd never expect anything crazy to happen. But trust me, crazy is exactly what's coming my way. Who's watching me, you ask? Oh, you'll find out soon, I promise. I don't want to spill all the beans just yet because that would ruin the fun. Let's just say this person isn't a fan of my big, beautiful Christmas tree. They're hiding somewhere close, maybe peeking out a window or standing behind a bush, and they've got a plan to turn my happy day upside down. It's like something out of a movie, but this is real life, my life. And the wildest part? This quiet little neighborhood, with its neat lawns and friendly dogs, is hiding a secret. A big, jaw-dropping secret that's going to make you go, no way, when you hear it. I didn't know it yet, but I was about to stumble into something so surprising, it'd change everything. Let me paint the picture for you a little more. My house is small and cozy, with red shutters and a tiny porch where I sometimes sit with a blanket. The tree I'm carrying is almost as tall as me, and its branches keep poking my arms as I lug it toward the front door. I'm wearing a puffy jacket and a scarf my mom made me. It's red and green, perfect for Christmas. The air smells like snow might be coming soon, and I can't wait to get inside, warm up, and start decorating. I've got a box of ornaments ready, shiny balls, little reindeer, and even a goofy Santa that sings when you press his belly. Everything feels so normal, so happy, like the start of a perfect holiday story. But stories don't stay perfect for long, do they? I set the tree down for a second to catch my breath. It's heavy, and my arms are getting tired. I look around, and the street is still super quiet. A squirrel scurries up a tree across the road, and I hear a dog bark somewhere far off. My neighbor's house next door has a wreath on the door, and I think, maybe I'll put one up too. I'm just a regular guy trying to make my yard look festive, you know? I don't want trouble. I don't want a fight. I just want to enjoy Christmas like everybody else. But that's when I feel it, a little prickly feeling, like someone's eyes are on me. I shake it off, thinking I'm being silly. Who'd care about a guy and his tree? Oh, if only I knew what was about to happen. This neighborhood might look sleepy and boring, but it's got secrets hiding behind every door. Secrets that are sneaky and quiet, waiting for the right moment to pop out and surprise you. I'm standing there, totally clueless, humming my song, "Oh what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh," and I don't even realize I'm about to get dragged into the wildest day ever. My tree is just the start, the tiny spark that's going to light up a big, crazy fire. And the person watching me? They're about to step out of the shadows and turn my holiday cheer into a total nightmare. But don't worry, I won't leave you hanging too long. The fun's just beginning. Are you curious yet? I bet you are. Do you want to know who's watching me and why they're so mad about my tree? Do you think it's something silly or something super serious? Stick around, because the story is going to get wilder with every twist and turn. I'm Jake, just a guy with a Christmas tree, but by the end of this, you'll see how one little tree can shake up a whole neighborhood. Grab some cocoa, get cozy, and let's keep going because trust me, you won't believe what happens next. Okay, friends, here's where things start to get exciting. So, I'm standing in my front yard, still holding my big, bushy Christmas tree. I'm trying to figure out how to get it inside without dropping pine needles everywhere. The air is cold, and my breath makes little puffs in front of me. I'm just about to take another step when bam, here comes trouble. And that trouble has a name, Karen. Yep, that Karen. You know the type, she's the boss of our neighborhood group called the HOA. That's short for Homeowners Association, which is supposed to make sure everything looks nice around here. But Karen? She takes it way too far. Karen's the kind of person who walks around with a ruler in her pocket. I'm not kidding. She measures your grass to make sure it's not too tall, like some kind of lawn police. If your mailbox is a little crooked or the paint's peeling, oh boy, you're in big trouble. She'll write you a mean note on fancy paper and slide it under your door. It's always something like, "Fix this now or else." Everyone in the neighborhood knows her, and most people try to stay out of her way. She's got short hair that's always perfect, and she wears these big sunglasses even when it's cloudy. She thinks she's in charge of everything, and I guess she kind of is, since she's the head of the HOA. So, there I am, minding my own business with my tree, when Karen comes storming across the street. Her arms are crossed tight over her chest, and her face looks like she just bit into a sour lemon. She stops right in front of me, her shoes clicking loud on the pavement. She stares at my Christmas tree like it's some kind of bad guy from a movie, a wanted criminal with a poster that says "Lock him up." I'm just standing there, holding the tree, thinking, what's her problem? Then she opens her mouth and snaps, "That's too tall." Her voice is sharp, like a teacher yelling at you for talking in class. "It's breaking Rule 47B of the HOA handbook," she says, pointing at my tree like it's going to jail. I blink at her, totally confused. Rule 47B? What's that? I didn't even know we had a handbook. I mean, it's just a tree, a big, green, happy Christmas tree. I try to laugh a little, hoping she'll calm down. "Come on, Karen," I say, smiling. "It's just a tree. It's not hurting anybody." But oh no, Karen's not laughing. Her eyes get even narrower, like little slits, and her lips press together so tight they almost disappear. She's not having any of my jokes. She shakes her head and says, "This is serious, Jake. You can't break the rules." I'm starting to feel like I'm in some kind of weird game where I don't know how to play. Before I can say anything else, Karen does something wild. She pulls her phone out of her pocket super fast, like she's been waiting for this moment all day. She starts tapping on it with her pointy finger, and then she holds it up to her ear. I'm thinking, is she calling her friend to complain about me? Nope. She's calling 911. Yes, the real 911, the number you call when there's a fire or someone's hurt. I hear her yelling into the phone, "Hello, police. Yes, I've got an emergency. There's a boy here with illegal decorations in his yard." Illegal decorations? My tree? I'm standing there, my mouth hanging open, totally stunned. Is this lady for real? Who calls the cops over a Christmas tree? I look at her, then at my tree, then back at her. My brain is spinning like a top. I want to say something, anything, but all I can think is, this is nuts. Karen's pacing back and forth now, her shoes clicking louder, still shouting into the phone. "Yes, it's too tall. It's against the rules. You need to send someone right now." I can't believe what I'm hearing. I mean, it's December. People put up trees all the time. My tree's not even that big, it's just a regular one I got from the store down the road. But Karen's acting like I parked a giant rocket ship in my yard or something. I'm still holding the tree, and my arms are getting tired. The branches are poking me, and a few needles fall onto the grass. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Should I just go inside and pretend this isn't happening? Should I argue with her? But Karen's on a roll, and she's not stopping. She keeps glaring at me, like I'm the worst kid in the world. You think this is funny, she says, pointing at me. We have rules for a reason, Jake. I don't think it's funny, I think it's crazy. But I don't say that out loud because I don't want to make her madder. Here's the thing, though, while Karen's busy yelling about my tree, something else is going on. Something big. I don't know it yet, and Karen definitely doesn't know it, but there's a secret bubbling up under all this noise. It's not about my tree at all, not really. It's about Karen and something she's been hiding. My tree is just the little spark that's about to light everything up. I'm standing there, feeling confused and a little annoyed, but I have no idea that things are about to get way wilder. Karen's so busy being mad at me that she doesn't see what's coming her way. And trust me, it's going to be a big surprise for her and for me. So, there we are, me with my tree, Karen with her phone, and the chilly air all around us. The neighborhood is still quiet, but I can feel the tension like when you know a storm's coming even though the sky's clear. Karen thinks she's winning, thinks she's got me in trouble. But something's brewing, something sneaky and huge, and it's not about my poor little Christmas tree. What is it? Oh, you'll see soon. Stick with me, because this story's about to take a turn you won't believe. Okay, friends, let's keep this story rolling. Things are getting wilder now, and I'm starting to feel like I'm in the middle of a big mystery. So, there I am, standing in my yard with my big Christmas tree. Karen's still on her phone, yelling at the 911 person like she's the boss of the world. She's going on and on about my illegal tree, and I'm just watching her, trying not to laugh. But then, I notice something funny. Karen's pacing back and forth, her shoes clicking on the ground, and she's sweating. Yep, sweating. There are little shiny drops on her forehead, even though it's super cold outside. The air's so chilly I can see my breath, and I'm bundled up in my jacket. So why's she hot? That's weird, right? I tilt my head and stare at her for a second. Maybe she's just really worked up about my tree. I mean, she's acting like it's the biggest problem ever. But still, sweating in December? It doesn't add up. I shrug my shoulders and decide not to think too hard about it. Karen's crazy, that's all I know. I grab my tree again, the branches poking my hands, and start dragging it toward my front door. It's heavy, and I'm tired of standing out here in the cold listening to her. I figure she'll yell herself out eventually, like a wind-up toy that runs out of spin. I just want to get inside, warm up, and forget this whole silly fight. But then whoa, something big happens. I hear sirens. Real sirens, like the ones you hear when a police car or fire truck is coming. They're far away at first, just a little wee-oh-oh sound, but they're getting louder fast. I stop dragging my tree and look around. The street's still quiet, with nobody else outside, but those sirens are definitely coming closer. My heart starts beating a little faster. Did Karen really call the cops over my tree? I mean, she said she was calling 911, but I didn't think they'd actually come. I look over at her, and she's got this big smirk on her face like the kind a kid gets when they tattle and think they've won. See? Karen says, pointing at me with her free hand while she holds the phone with the other. The cops will handle you now, Jake. Her voice is loud and proud, like she's just caught a bad guy in a superhero movie. She's standing there, arms crossed again, looking so happy with herself. I roll my eyes so hard I think they might get stuck. Karen, I say in my head, it's a tree, not a monster. But I don't say it out loud because I don't want to poke the bear or, well, poke the Karen. I just shake my head and mutter, whatever, under my breath. Still, those sirens are getting louder, and I'm starting to wonder what's really going on. I lean against my tree for a second, the prickly branches brushing my jacket. The sound is wee-oh-oh, closer now, and I can feel it in my chest. I look down the street, but I don't see anything yet, no flashing lights, no cars. Just the quiet houses with their Christmas lights twinkling. Karen's still smirking, nodding like she's the smartest person ever. But here's where my brain starts ticking. Those sirens are really loud already, like, too loud for cops to have gotten here this fast just because she called. She only dialed 911 a minute ago. Even if they jumped in their car right away, they'd still be farther off, right? Something's off. Something doesn't feel right, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. I scratch my head under my hat and squint at Karen. She's still talking into the phone, saying stuff like, "Yes, hurry. It's an emergency." But she's not sweating as much now. Maybe she's calming down? Or maybe she's hiding something. I don't know yet, but my tummy's doing little flips, like when you're about to go down a big slide. I try to shake it off and grab my tree again. The sirens are so close I can almost feel them vibrating the ground. Karen's smirk gets even bigger, and she says, "You're in trouble now, Jake." I sigh and think, great. All I wanted was a Christmas tree, and now I've got cops coming. But wait, let's think about this. I'm not a detective or anything, but I've seen shows on TV. Cops don't zoom over this fast for something dumb like a tree, do they? I mean, they've got real stuff to do, like catching robbers or helping people who are hurt. My tree's not hurting anybody, it's just sitting there, looking festive. So why are those sirens screaming like that? I look around again, and the street's still empty. No neighbors peeking out, no dogs barking, just me, Karen, and my tree. The wee-oh-oh is so loud now it's bouncing off the houses. I can't see the police car yet, but it's gotta be right around the corner. That's when I start wondering, maybe this isn't about my tree at all. Maybe something else is going on, and Karen doesn't even know it. She's so busy being mad at me that she's not paying attention. I take a deep breath and let it out, watching the puff of air float away. My hands are cold, and the tree's getting heavier, but I don't move. I just stand there, listening, waiting. Karen's still got that big, mean smile, like she's won a prize. But I'm starting to think she's not the winner she thinks she is. Something's coming, something big, and I'm about to find out what. The sirens are super close now, and I hear tires squeaking, like a car's turning fast. My heart's thumping, and I'm not sure if I should laugh or run inside. Karen's acting like she's the queen of the neighborhood, but I've got this funny feeling she's about to be really surprised. My tree's still in my arms, shedding a few needles, and I'm just a regular guy caught in something wild. What's happening? Why are the cops really coming? Stick with me, because this is where the story starts to twist, and trust me, you won't see it coming. Alright, friends, hold on tight because this is where the story gets super exciting. Everything's about to flip upside down, and I can't wait to tell you what happens next. So, I'm standing there in my yard, still holding my big Christmas tree. The sirens are screaming loud, wee-oh-oh, and suddenly, a police car zooms around the corner. Its tires squeal like in a movie, and it stops right in our cul-de-sac. That's the little circle street where my house is. The car's lights are flashing red and blue, spinning so fast it makes my eyes dizzy. 2 police officers jump out, quick as lightning, and slam the doors behind them. They've got serious faces, like they mean business. Karen's right next to me, and oh boy, she's so happy she's practically bouncing up and down. Her arms are waving, and she's pointing at me like I'm the biggest troublemaker ever. "That's him," she yells, her voice loud and sharp. "Arrest him for the tree. He's breaking all the rules." She's acting like I'm some bad guy who just robbed a candy store or something. I'm just standing there, my tree in my hands, thinking, what is she talking about? My tree's not a criminal, it's just a tree. I want to laugh, but those flashing lights and serious cops make me a little nervous too. But here's where it gets wild. The police officers don't even look at me. Not even a tiny glance. Their eyes are locked on Karen, and they start walking straight toward her. Their boots thump on the ground, and they're moving fast. Karen's still pointing at me, shouting, "Hurry. Get him." But the cops aren't listening to her. One of them, a tall guy with a big hat, stops right in front of her and says, "Ma'am, we need you to come with us." His voice is deep and calm, but it's the kind of calm that means something serious is happening. I blink, confused. Wait, what? Why are they talking to her? Karen's face changes in a snap. 1 second, she's all smug and bouncy, and the next, she looks like she's seen a ghost. Her skin goes super white, like a piece of paper, and her mouth opens wide. What? She stammers, her voice shaky now. "This is about his tree, not me. He's the one breaking the rules." She's pointing at me again, but her hand's trembling a little. She's starting to look scared, and I'm just standing there, holding my tree, totally lost. Why are the cops after her? What's going on? The tall officer shakes his head, slow and steady. No, ma'am, he says. This isn't about the tree. He pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket and holds it up. We've got a warrant for your arrest. Karen's eyes get huge, like two big marbles, and she takes a step back. A warrant? That's like a special note from a judge that says the police can take you away if you did something bad. I'm listening hard now, my heart thumping loud in my chest. The officer keeps talking. It's for embezzlement from the HOA funds. Over $20,000 is missing. Whoa. My jaw drops so fast it feels like it hits the ground. Embezzlement. That's a fancy word, but it means stealing money, taking it when you're not supposed to. And $20,000. That's a ton of money. Like, you could buy a whole pile of video games or a million candy bars with that. I look at Karen, and she's frozen, her mouth flapping like a fish out of water. She's been stealing from the HOA, the group she's in charge of. The group that's supposed to take care of our neighborhood. My brain's spinning like a top. All this time, she's been acting like the big boss, telling everyone what to do, and she's the one doing something wrong. I can't believe it. Karen's been sneaking money from us, money we all pay to keep the streets nice and the playground fixed. And here she is, yelling about my tree like it's the worst thing ever. Oh, this is too good. I almost start laughing right there, but I hold it in because the cops are still talking. The other officer, a lady with a ponytail, steps closer to Karen. Ma'am, put your hands behind your back, she says. Karen shakes her head fast, like she's trying to wake up from a bad dream. No, 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 she cries. This is a mistake. It's about him. She's pointing at me again, but the cops don't care. The tall officer takes out a pair of shiny handcuffs. They clink together, and Karen's eyes get even wider. You've been taking money that doesn't belong to you, he says. We've got proof, lots of it. Proof? Like clues? I wonder what they found, maybe secret papers or bank stuff. Karen's shaking now, her whole body wobbling like jelly. She stutters, but she can't finish. The lady officer grabs her arms gently but firm, and snaps the handcuffs on. Click. Karen's hands are stuck behind her back, and she looks like she might cry. I'm still standing there, my tree leaning against me, watching this like it's a show on TV. My mouth's still open, and I can't stop staring. Karen thought she was so smart, calling the cops on me for my tree. She thought I was the one in trouble. But nope, the cops were already coming for her. They didn't care about my tree at all. It's like the biggest twist ever, and I'm right in the middle of it. I feel a little giggle bubble up in my chest because, wow, this is crazy. The cul-de-sac's quiet except for Karen's whining. This isn't fair, she says as the cops start walking her to the car. Her shoes drag on the ground, and her perfect hair's all messy now. The flashing lights make everything look like a big, wild party, but not the fun kind. I look at my tree, still green and bushy, and think, you're safe, little buddy. Karen's the real bad guy here, not us. And oh man, this is just too perfect. Stick around, because there's more to come after this big surprise. Okay, friends, here's where everything wraps up nice and neat. So, the cops have Karen now, and she's not happy about it. She's yelling and arguing, saying, this is wrong. You've got the wrong person. But the police aren't listening. They've got those shiny handcuffs on her wrists, and they're holding her tight. This is all happening right in front of my big Christmas tree, the one she called illegal. I'm just standing there, watching, and I can't believe my eyes. The red and blue lights from the police car are flashing all over my yard, making my tree look like it's glowing extra special. Karen keeps trying to talk her way out of it, but the cops don't care. The tall officer says, we've got all the proof we need, ma'am. She's mad, stomping her feet a little, but it's no use. They start walking her to the police car, and that's when I notice something cool. Half the neighborhood is peeking out their windows. I see curtains moving and faces popping up, all whispering to each other. They're probably saying, what's happening? Why's Karen in trouble? Turns out, Karen's been sneaky for a long time. She was taking money from the HOA, our neighborhood group, for years. She used it for fancy vacations to places with beaches and palm trees, and even bought a shiny new car. All that money was supposed to help fix our streets and stuff, but she kept it for herself. Me. I'm just chilling. I lean against my tree, feeling the prickly branches on my back, and take a sip of my hot cocoa. It's warm and yummy, with little marshmallows floating on top. I watch as the cops put Karen in the back of their car. She's still talking, but the door slams shut, and off they go. The sirens start up again, wee-oh-oh, and the car drives away, lights flashing down the street. I wave bye-bye with a big grin because, wow, that was wild. Karen thought she was the boss of everyone, but now she's the one in big trouble. The next day, something awesome happens. I get an email from the HOA. Well, my mom does, but she shows it to me. It says there's new people in charge now, and guess what? No more crazy rules. No more measuring grass with rulers or yelling about mailboxes. My tree can stay right where it is, all twinkly and bright with its lights shining every night. I look out my window at it, and I can't help but smile every single time. It's like my tree won a prize for being the best and Karen didn't. Justice. Oh, it's served, friends. It's like a big, warm hug, even better than my cocoa. Karen's gone, the silly rules are gone, and my tree's still standing tall. The neighborhood feels happier already, and I'm just a regular guy who gets to enjoy Christmas the way I want. How cool is that? Hey there, friends. Let's take a minute to think about this crazy story and what it means. It's all over now. Karen's gone with the cops, my tree's twinkling in the yard, and everything's calm again. But here's the thing I want you to remember: sometimes, the loudest people who point fingers and act like they're perfect are the ones hiding the biggest secrets. Yep, it's true. Karen was always yelling at everybody, telling us what to do, acting like she was the queen of the neighborhood. She'd point at my tree or someone's messy yard and say, "That's wrong. Fix it." But all along, she was the one doing sneaky stuff like stealing money from the HOA. She thought she could boss everyone around, but in the end, she tripped right over her own lies. Funny how that works, right? It makes me think about something big. Karen was so busy being loud and mean that she didn't see the truth catching up to her. She thought she was smart, but the cops knew everything. It's like she built a big tower of lies, and then whoosh, it all fell down. And me? I was just a regular guy with a Christmas tree, trying to have some fun. I didn't do anything wrong, but she tried to make me feel like I did. That's not fair, is it? But the cool part is, the truth came out, and now my tree's still standing tall, shining bright with all its lights. It's like a little hero in the story. So, here's a question for you: who's the real troublemaker in your neighborhood? Maybe it's someone loud like Karen, always complaining or bossing people around. Or maybe it's someone quiet who's hiding something sneaky. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? I think it's fun to stay curious like a detective in your own little world. Look around, watch people, and think about what's really going on. Because here's the best part: the truth always finds a way to shine through. It's like the sun coming out after a big storm, or like the lights on my tree glowing in the dark. No matter how hard someone tries to hide it, the truth sneaks out and says, "Here I am." I hope this story makes you smile and feel strong. If someone's being mean or pointing fingers at you, don't worry too much. Keep being yourself, like I did with my tree, and let the truth do its job. It's pretty cool how things work out sometimes, right? So, stay curious, friends, and keep your eyes open. You never know what fun stories are waiting out there. I'll see you next time with another one. Maybe it'll be about a snowman or a silly dog. Who knows? Bye for now, and keep shining like my Christmas lights.